Alright, we are going to take a really quick look at Cover Your Kingdom. This is a game where each player will play as their own magical kingdom that we are trying to fill with as many magical creatures worth as much magic value as possible. We have got a lowlands side of our kingdom where we can put lowlands creatures like leprechaun men. And we have got a highlands section of our kingdom where we can put highlands creatures like yogi yetis. Creatures can only enter your kingdom in clans though, and clans have to be in at least pairs. We will talk about that more in a second. There are also some creature types that can be either lowlands or highlands, and this is always evidenced by the little icons up in the corner here. The Hentor can go to either one, so if I had a clan of Hentor, they could lay in either section I wanted them to. Now at the beginning of each player's turn, they are going to have the crown, and all players are going to have 6 cards, so we've all got a full hand no matter what at the beginning of each player's turn. This hand is going to be filled mostly with creatures that you want to recruit for your kingdom, as well as possibly some special creatures. I've got a couple of wilds here, and we'll talk about some other special ones in a second. There's 5 things you can do on your turn, the first of which is just to settle territory, and that just requires that you play a pair of cards out of your hand that match. I've got some matching Cyclops here, so I could settle with my Cyclops. They are a Highlands creature, so they're going to go like that. We always reverse the vertical or horizontal orientation of each clan to differentiate it from the one under it. When settling, you can also make use of the top card of the discard pile, so since I have one Vulcant in my hand, I could play that along with the top card in the discard pile to form a pair of those. And there are also wild cards, like the Russell Terrier, which is a 3-headed Russell Terrier, of course. This is a wild card that can be used in place of any other card when forming a clan, so I could combine my Russell Terrier with a Pixie, and that, why don't I send to the lowlands, because it could go to the low or highlands of my choice. The second thing you can do on your turn, and the thing that really defines this game, is to try to recruit clans. Now, recruiting is what it's called. It's actually stealing a clan from the top of somebody else's clan stacks. If they're on the top, that means they are exposed, not covered, and they can be stolen. So if you play a card that matches the clan type of somebody else's top of the stack clan, you are set up to steal that from them. However, they can prepare by having defenses in their own hand, also matching that card, and if they play a second one to match the recruiting card you just played, they get to successfully defend that attack. This can go on for a while though. You can follow up that attack as part of the same action and continue to play those cards out, see if they can keep defending. You can play Spydras, which are really good at attacking and defending. They count as 2 creatures when you use them as a wild card to try to steal from somebody else. If the defending player has a Spydra of their own, they can use it to defend. If they have 2 Cyclops, they could use it to defend in this case. But if they don't, this battle goes your way as the attacker, and you are going to take that clan as well as all of the cards that were played as part of that attack and defense. If the defender is successful, that entire stack goes to them, and you wasted a bunch of your time and your cards trying to steal from them. The third action is super straightforward, and that is to just add a card from your hand to one of the clans on top of your stack. The fourth action is to hire a special creature from your hand. If you have one in your hand, you can just play it to use a special action. So the wizard is one of these. These creatures can't be part of clans, and they are worth no points. They allow you to do special things like move a clan from top to bottom or bottom to top of a stack, or blindly take 3 creatures from another ruler's hand and then return 3 creatures of your choice back to them. So that's what these special hireable creatures are going to do. They have got their own discard pile over here so that they don't mess up the interactable discard of the clan cards. And the last thing you can do is to discard any one card from your hand to draw a different card. You have to take at least 1 action on your turn. You can take as many as 2 actions on your turn, and you can repeat the same one twice. So if you wanted to settle twice or make 2 attempts to recruit from other people's clans, you could do that. At the end of the game, we're going to count up all of the magic points at the top of all the cards in our clans, in our lands, and see whose kingdom is the most magical. Now, there are 2 things that make this game so great for me, and the first is going to be that recruiting action. There's something super cool about the, trying to cover up your really powerful clan so that nobody else can steal them from you before they get to play a card to try to recruit it from you. If you end up with a hand just full of Peg Legasises, then maybe you're going to decide, okay, I could settle with these and then add one to that settlement that I made. Or I could wait for somebody else to settle their Peg Legasises and then lure them into a big fight that I'm pretty sure I can win and steal that entire clan with them for only 1 action. Second is how much detail went into poking fun at the fantasy genre over the course of this game. The actual names of the creatures, like the Bragon and the Cyclops and the Pixie and the Leprechaun Man, are all clever, but if you keep looking closer and closer, the cards themselves are just full of little jokes and little humorous poking at the genre. All of the different clan creature cards have got totally different little text boxes on them, so they're saying totally different things and might have totally different props with them. There's even the Vulcant that just isn't on its card, and it says, "Psst, I'm here, just wearing my cloaking ring, let me know when they're gone." So they did a great, cute little job of making every card unique and giving the game like a nice, fun feel, even on someone else's turn, that you can just read through and laugh at your own hand. Now, while we're talking about Cover Your Kingdom, we should also talk about Cover Your Assets, the game that preceded it. The gameplay in Cover Your Assets is almost exactly the same as Cover Your Kingdom, but just a little bit simpler. First, as we are playing pairs of cards out into our play area, each player is going to have exactly one stack of cards that they're working on. So your stack of assets will just sit in front of you, and the top asset stack that you have got there is always the vulnerable, same as in Cover Your Kingdom. Stealing works just the same. You can play a card that matches someone else's exposed assets to try and steal it from them. They can then counter with a matching card or with the wild cards. Silver and gold are the wild cards in Cover Your Assets. You can also discard and redraw in this, just like in Cover Your Kingdom, but it's worth noting that you only get to take one action on your turn each turn in Cover Your Assets, where you can take up to 2 in Cover Your Kingdom. The fun part is that the main differences between the two games actually come out in the advanced version of Cover Your Assets. There is a penny jar that counts as 2 wild cards, just like the Spydra did in Cover Your Kingdom. There is a move card that works just like the Wizard did in Cover Your Kingdom and moves a set from the bottom to the top or vice versa in someone's stack. So they put a lot of the same mechanics in just as extras in this original Cover Your Assets box, and then made it part of the main game in Cover Your Kingdom. So for someone who's looking for a pretty straightforward game where you can screw over your opponents by hoarding just the right cards and stealing their stuff, Cover Your Assets is awesome. For someone who'd like something with a little bit more in it and that is going to have a really cheeky take on the fantasy genre, Cover Your Kingdom becomes the right choice. Thank you.